Hi students, I'm Tom Burgundy, your unofficial newscaster for everything Jacksonville University. I'm here to welcome back all of our old student athletes, as well as our new student athletes here on Jacksonville University campus. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. This is an informational video to introduce you to all aspects and resources that you have at your disposal here at Jacksonville.
Duncan, Harrison, how are your grades looking? Duncan, did you pass at least 6 credits towards your degree during the fall and spring semesters? And Harrison, because you play football, did you pass at least 9 credits towards your degree in the fall?
I think so.
And did you both pass at least 18 credit hours towards your degree in the fall and spring semesters combined? You do know that by your 4th year, you must have completed at least 60% of your degree. Do you have a GPA of at least a 2.0? Do you guys know any of this?
As an NCAA athlete, there are certain requirements that you need to know. First, that you must be enrolled in 12 credit hours during the semester. All freshmen must pass 24 credit hours to maintain eligibility into the sophomore year. All students must pass a combined 18 credit hours during the fall and spring semesters combined. Also, you must pass at least 6 in the prior semester. Football, it differs a little bit. In the fall, you need to pass 9 in order to be eligible for the following season. Now, while we're on the topic of different GPA requirements, it's good for you to know that different scholarships have different requirements than that of JU or NCAA. For example, an honor scholarship, you must maintain a 3.0 cumulative GPA or above. For a merit scholarship, you must maintain a 2.5 or above. And for federal, state, and grant aid, you must have a 2.0 or above. If you do not maintain that, you may be at risk of losing your scholarship or money. In order for a student athlete to maintain academic success, it is best to follow these rules. First, communicate with your faculty members about when you will be traveling and remind them when the dates are upcoming. Second, it is your responsibility to go and get your missed work assignments. It's always best to follow up with another student in the class, that way you don't miss any notes. And when you're not traveling or playing, you must be in class, otherwise you risk failure.
Hey man, what's up?
Yo, you got that homework for that class?
Yeah, I did it.
Alright.
I'll let you see it in study hall.
Yeah.
Alright.
I bet. I'll see you in study hall. Yo, bro, you got that homework?
Yeah, I got it. Get back to me.
I appreciate it, bro.
Academic misconduct and academic fraud is when anyone aids a student athlete in cheating or producing work that does not belong to them. You must always do your own homework, projects, and tests. Remember to cite your sources properly. Do not share any of your work with another student athlete. Be extra careful when working in groups. And always remember that any academic misconduct can cause athletic ineligibility. Tom Burgundy back here, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about registration now. As you see, seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen all have different registration dates. Luckily for us this year, student athletes have priority registration. We will be able to sign up for classes earlier than the rest of the student body. Important things to remember when thinking about registration. Set up an appointment with your academic advisor. Lauren and Lamar are not your academic advisor. These are your NCAA athletic advisors. Also, you may not have a hold of more than $500 on your account, so get in touch with financial aid, get in touch with the registrar, and find out what's going on up there. A grade replacement form must be completed prior to the start of the course or within the first week of classes. You may drop or add classes during the first week. After the deadline, you're only allowed to drop, so make sure you know what you want to have on your schedule. Check with your NCAA athletic advisor, Lauren and Lamar, about classes that you may be unsure about progression towards degree. Registration is your responsibility. Make sure you keep on top of things. Communication is key. Here at Jacksonville University, the Student Athlete Center for Success, known as SACS, can provide you with all the academic resources you need as a student athlete. This is located over in Botts Hall with Lauren and Lamar. Here you can find one-on-one academic meetings, academic plans, progress towards degree and eligibility monitoring, one-on-one and group tutoring, computers, printers, and priority registration. Also, student athlete development, including life skills, community outreach, and internship programs can be found here. Just go talk to Lauren and Lamar. In some cases, head coaches may require student athletes to complete team study table hours regardless of the GPA. Keep that in mind. Here are the tiers as follows though. A first semester student athlete is required 6 hours per week. A returning student athlete with a cumulative of 2.75 to 2.99 under the 3.0 is required 4 hours per week. A returning student athlete with a cumulative between 2.25 and 2.74 is required 6 hours per week. A student athlete with a cumulative GPA of 2.25 or below is required 8 hours per week. And now I'm going to throw it over to Alex and Lauren as they give you a little bit of information about Jump Forward and the Student Athlete Advisory Committee.
Yo, I got it all set up.
All right, let me see what you got, man.
All right, so we're all putting in 10 bucks. There's 10 of us, that's 100 bucks. So the winner takes 90, second place gets 10.
Well, I ain't no loser, I'm a winner, so I'm going for the 90.
All right.
What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? You know you're not supposed to be gambling?
It's just 10 bucks, Lamar, and
Yeah,
it's
just for
fantasy football.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
No, NCAA regulations require you not to gamble. If you gamble, NCAA will suspend you. Do you guys know that?
Oh, man.
Is it that big a deal?
It's a big deal. Thank you. I'll take it.
Whoa, I don't know what was going on there, but it looked a little sketchy. As a Jacksonville University student athlete, you need to remember the NCAA rules on gambling. You cannot solicit or place a bet on any intercollegiate, professional, or amateur team in which the NCAA has a championship. You cannot participate in any sports gambling activity in which there is an entry fee and you cannot win a prize. You cannot provide information to individuals placing bets. This also means not giving out information regarding the health of any teammate or morale of your team to anyone outside the athletic department. A violation of the above regulations at Jacksonville University results in a loss of all remaining eligibility. Show me the money! You better not be saying that unless you're done with your eligibility here at Jacksonville University. Neither you nor a parent or guardian can accept benefits from an agent. You may not sign a contract with an agent or agree verbally to any representation until your eligibility has expired. Any questions regarding agents need to be brought to the compliance office and possibly to Alex, Rob, or your AD, Dr. Horner.
Where's our food? I'm starving.
I know, I can't wait for the wings to get here.
Hey, look who it is. Sam and Victoria, my two favorite Jacksonville University student athletes. How you guys doing? You mind if I get some autographs today?
Sure, we do that all the time.
Great. Well, hey, listen, I know you guys are poor college students. Why don't I pick up the tab today? You guys can keep the change.
Thank you so much for the offer, but if we accept this would be an NCAA violation.
Okay, I understand. Well, why don't I give you guys my number? You guys can call me this week and I'll hook you guys up with some Jags tickets. What do you
That
think?
sounds like an amazing offer, but that would be going against NCAA violations, so we can't accept. But thank you, though.
Okay, well, hey, I understand. Good luck this season, and if you need anything, you have my number.
Tom Burgundy back here, and now we're talking about boosters. A A booster is a person who makes donations to the athletic department. They generally promote Jacksonville University, but there are limitations to the interactions that you can have with these boosters. You cannot receive any extra benefits from these boosters. Tom Burgundy's voice here to go over just what extra benefits are. As a student athlete, you are bound by the NCAA rules, regulations, and policies. One of those policies is in regards to extra benefits. As a student athlete, you are not allowed to receive any type or form of extra benefit. A representative of the institution's athletics interests is an individual, independent agency, corporate entity, or other organization who is known or who should have been known by a member of the institution executive or athletics administration to A. have participated in or to be a member of an agency or organization promoting the institution's intercollegiate athletics program. B. have made financial contributions to the athletics department or to an athletics booster organization of that institution. C. be assisting or to have been requested by the athletics department staff to assist in the recruitment of prospective student athletes. D. be assisting or to have assisted in providing benefits to enrolled student athletes or their families. Or E. have been involved otherwise in promoting the institution's athletics program. Extra benefits can include such things as use of a car, clothing, haircuts, gifts, money, loans, tickets to any kind of entertainment, payment of a long-distance telephone call, free or reduced merchandise from a merchant unless it is available to all the general public. Members of the athletic department staff, including tutors, may not type reports, papers, letters, etc. Special discounts, payments, arrangements, or credit on a purchase, airline tickets, or service, laundry or dry cleaning, for example, are also extra benefits. And these are all off limits.
Come on in, Jack.
Alex, how you doing? Have you got a minute to speak, please?
Jack, how are you? I'm doing well.
Yeah, not too bad. So I've just been struggling recently. Obviously, I've got the partial aid this year, but it's not covering all my expenses. And I was just wondering if there's any other like money floating around that I can apply for or anything like that.
Well, institutionally, I do not know of any aid. But have you filed a FAFSA?
I wouldn't even know what a FAFSA is.
Well, a FAFSA is a free form that the government uses to see if students qualify for state or federal grants or loans.
Sounds pretty good. Where could I fill this out?
Well, it's simple. All you have to do is go to www.fafsa-application.com to see if you qualify.
Sounds pretty good. Could I do that here, or should I go back and do it?
Well, you can't use my computer, but you can head over to the StudentAthlete Success Center in Bots and use the computers that are now available to our student athletes. We have 16 over there.
Perfect. I'll go do that straight away.
Great. And remember, tell all student athletes that they need to fill out a FAFSA each year because it's looked at on an annual basis.
I'll definitely go tell all the boys straight away.
And the girls.
And the girls.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Take care.
Now remember, student athletes, this is fiction. Jack's an international student athlete, and international student athletes are not eligible to receive federal or state aid.
As you saw there, financial aid can be a problem for many student athletes trying to get their degree. Therefore, we need to touch on the topic of financial aid, as it is very important how you will pay for your degree. Money from anyone whom you are naturally or legally dependent on is permissible. Remember that it is never okay for you to receive money from a coach, fan, or booster, just like we just went over. Federal grant money, if you qualify, is available. Remember to complete your free application for financial aid, which is the FAFSA that Alex was just telling you about, to learn if you qualify for this fund. All student athletes should definitely complete this form. Additionally, if you are a scholarship student athlete, you need to be aware that a scholarship is a one-year contract. It can be reduced, renewed, or cut entirely at the end of the year, so be sure to be on your best behavior.
Man, it's been so rough out of season. They got me out here working like a slave. You know, we're still practicing 20 hours a week and no days off.
Really? That's crazy, because my coach told me that you can only practice at least 8 hours a week while you're out of season. And only 2 of those hours can be individual sessions.
Really?
And you have to have at least 2 days off a week. So if you can't be team, no days off. Yeah.
Okay. Half the time the director of operations is running our practice. He doesn't even know soccer.
Dang. Well, I think you should go talk to Alex and the compliance officer about that because you're not supposed to be practicing that much, and only registered coaches can coach your practice. So
Really?
The director of operations should not be out there.
Okay, I'll definitely go do that. Thank you.
You should.
As you saw there's restrictions on how a coach can practice you as a student athlete, whether it be in season or out of season. In season, you're allotted no more than 20 hours per week. You must have 1 day off and no more than 4 hours per day. While out of season, you only allowed 8 hours per week, 2 days off, and only 2 of those hours can be individual skill instruction. As you see, the following does apply to hourly practice hours: required weight room hours, required practice time, and competitions. And competitions will always count at 3 hours, no matter how long they last. The following does not apply: time spent in the training room, voluntary weight room or field workouts. And when classes are not in session, the daily and weekly hour limits do not apply. Also, you may only be coached by coaches who are registered with your team. There are limits for all teams on how many coaches they may have. The director of operations cannot put you through a practice, as well as any other staff personnel. If you are going to work and would like a job, be sure to stop by the compliance office to complete the necessary paperwork. That's what I had to do to receive this position. You also can only be paid for the work that you are actually performing, and cannot be paid over the going rate for the job that you're in. Your employer will also not be able to use your reputation to benefit their business. For a fee for lesson, you must make sure you stop by the compliance office to complete the necessary paperwork for this as well, prior to the lessons that you're given. Jacksonville University athletic facilities cannot be used. You can also not use your name or picture to advertise or promote your lessons. You cannot simply play against your lesson recipient. You have to actually teach a skill or provide instruction for them to make them a better athlete. And your compensation must be paid by the recipient or the recipient's family and not by another individual or entity. As a student athlete, you may be involved in several promotional activities for the university. These promotional activities have to follow a general set of rules. You must have prior approval from the Jacksonville University Athletics. You cannot miss class. You cannot get paid. Your name, picture, appearance must be used in a manner that is consistent with NCAA rules. If anyone outside of the athletic department contacts you for a promotional activity, be sure to come straight to the compliance office and be sure that this is okay.
Mr. Mass?
Yes.
Davina, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Come on in. Have a seat for me. All right. So, we are meeting because I was informed that you are potentially the host of a party on campus. Does that ring a bell? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it was.
A good time, huh?
It was alright.
Okay, well, the unfortunate part of this is that there were students potentially under the age of 21 that were also in this party. Is that correct?
To be honest with you, I wasn't checking the IDs, so I wasn't aware at all.
Okay, fantastic. Well, unfortunately, my staff informed me that there were, in fact, students that were under the age of 21, and although you're of age, you are still at fault and responsible for those students. So, as unfortunately as that is, yeah, it does. Something I'd like to share with you is the code of conduct. So this is in plain form and plain sight for you, and it lists some of the things that students are responsible for. So even though you're of age, students that aren't of age cannot be in the presence of alcohol at all. Okay, so these list the sanctions that you will be responsible for. So being that you have had prior issues with my office, this falls under the second violation, so you will have a fine of $175. You'll have to sit through a MAD panelist, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, in the auditorium, which you'll also have to pay for, and you'll also be placed on disciplinary probation.
When you say mad parents, it's like your mom's gonna be mad.
They're gonna be pretty upset. But we feel like that's better than sitting in front of a computer because we've tried that obviously the first time and it didn't appear to work.
So I gotta pay money and sit in front of some mad moms.
Yes, and then you'll also be on disciplinary probation. So if you get in trouble again, we'll have to go to this box and talk a little bit about suspension and potentially you not being able to reside on campus.
This is rough.
It
I
is.
did not expect none of this. Just for a get together.
Now you see there, even for something small, he's in quite a sticky situation now. That's why you need to know your drug and alcohol policies so you don't end up in the same situation. To go over this, I'm going to throw it over to my cousin, John Burgundy. He has the perfect voice and the perfect experience to let you know what you need to know. John Burgundy here, cousin of Tom Burgundy, here to go over the Jacksonville University Athletics Drug Testing Policy. Random testing of student athletes will be conducted throughout the academic year. Reasonable suspicion of testing of student athletes may also be conducted throughout the academic year. Jacksonville University reserves the right to drug test any student athlete at any time. All student athletes must participate and date a drug testing release form prior to participation in athletics practices and/or games. A missed test is considered a positive test and will be subject to the same sanctions. So remember, drugs are bad, okay? Just go on and leave them alone. The following is the alcohol policy and the many violations that will cause you to be in trouble. Underage drinking on university property, university premises, or any university-sponsored activity, whether on or off campus. Possessing, storing, dispensing, or consuming alcoholic beverages in the presence of anyone who is under the age of 21 on university property or premises. Being under the age of 21 and in presence of alcoholic beverages, except at authorized university functions or designated areas. Possession of kegs or other common containers of alcoholic beverage. Mass quantities of alcohol are prohibited. Students over the age of 21 are allowed to possess no more than the following amounts of alcohol in the residence halls. Beer at 72 fluid ounces, which is a 6-pack. Wine at 750 milliliters, which is a traditional wine bottle. Liquor at 750 milliliters, which is a traditional wine bottle. Now these are the small bottles. The following is what you are at risk for if you break any of these violations. If you are under 21 and in possession, your first violation is $100 in alcohol EDU. For the second violation, it's $175 victim impact panel or community service with MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, parental notification, and disciplinary probation. For the third violation, you will be fined $250, basics assessment with counseling center, parental notification, deferred suspension to potentially include removal from housing or loss of parking privileges. Now, if you are hosting, the first violation is a $200 fine, alcohol EDU, and disciplinary probation. The second violation is a $300 fine, victim impact panel with MAD, community service or restitution hours, deferred suspension and or suspension from housing or loss of parking privileges. The third violation will cause you to be suspended from the university. Possession of kegs. A $200 fine with the first violation, alcohol EDU, and disciplinary probation. For the second violation, a $300 fine, victim impact panel with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, community service, or restitution hours, deferred suspension from housing and or loss of parking privileges. Third violation will be a suspension from the university. Drugs. For the first violation, it will be a $250 fine, deferred suspension to include possible removal from housing and or loss of parking privileges. Educational assessment, community service, and or victim impact panel with MAD and parental notification. With the second violation for drugs, you will be suspended or dismissed from the university immediately.
What's up, Coach? You want to see me?
What's up, Marcel? How you doing, man?
Good.
Hey, listen, I just wanted to holler at you real quick. As you know, we've talked a little bit about it, but we got a recruit coming in this weekend. Name's Michael Jordan. All right, he's from North Carolina, little under the radar, but in our opinion, he was the best player we saw this summer. So you hosted all of our guys last year. We need you to do the exact same thing. All right, we really need to get this kid good guard, strong player. You know, let me make myself clear. He is a top priority for our team next year.
Okay, Coach, no doubt. You know I'm your guy. I'll do what I got to do. Take him out, you know, show him some spots in Jacksonville. You know, make sure you have a good time.
Okay, sounds good, man. Now get
right,
to class.
See you later.
See you, Marcel.
coach just gave me this $50. Gonna head to ABC, and we gonna turn the table on them. We gonna blow the whole 50 on that booze, baby.
What you trying to get?
Probably some Rog, Amsterdam, but maybe that whole.
So we just had the opportunity to watch a student host and his recruit, and Tom Burgundy will tell you that everything they did there was completely wrong. They broke many rules. Now follow these steps when hosting a recruit and you should be okay. Refrain from committing offensive acts. Avoid responding to offensive acts. Follow all state and federal laws when it comes to alcohol and drugs. Under no circumstance should a student host or prospective student athlete engage in drinking alcoholic beverages, regardless of whether they are of legal age. Adult entertainment and gambling venues are off limits. A student host should give the student recruit no special treatment. Also, the money given to them may not be used on alcohol.
Oh my God, Victoria, I just got this Twitter account and it's awesome. I literally tweet all the time, it's great.
Really? What do you even tweet about?
You know, anything really. I let people know about parties and I post pictures of all the fun stuff and lyric quotes.
You should be careful with that. You don't know who all can see it.
Shut up, no one cares. It's my birthday this weekend, so I'm gonna post a picture of all the alcohol, and I don't care if it's in season. I'm gonna party hard.
I don't think that's a good idea. You don't know who can see that, and it's a representation of our whole team. I don't want people thinking that's how I am too.
Oh, hey there. I was just sending out a tweet real quick. As you know, you are allowed to have social media, but you must use it in a responsible way. You have to remember, as a student athlete, you are representative of not only yourself, but your family, your team, your school, and your program. Things to keep in mind when using social media. It is a tool, not a toy. Nothing is truly private, ever. Someone will see what you post, always. Be smart with what you post. You never know who may be reading it or who may have a certain opinion on it. And you would never want to put your university, yourself, your family, or your team in a bad light. As your unofficial newscaster, I want to thank you for coming to enjoy another academic and athletic school year with us. I'm all finished here. I'm going to send it down to Alex, Lauren, Lamar, and if they have anything else for you or if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand.